one of the things that I like really keyed in on in the early chapters of your book was when you're talking about hopelessness and how that's sort of all over the place, and that people are kind of lost in a lot of ways, and groping for some sort of happiness or feeling of fulfillment or whatever you want to call it. And you kind of point to a proper view of work and work itself as maybe one of the possible antidotes to that. Can you speak to that a little bit, and maybe why you think that is? Why is it that God created us in that way, that we're so tied to work?
Yeah, I think that you're exactly right that I believe we're in this bizarre time in which people say, and I'm in agreement with them, by the way, people say that society is more alienated and isolated and lonely and depressed than it's been before. And I think that's true. And we talk about the empirical measurements of that in higher suicide rates, God forbid, and drug and alcohol abuse and other sort of social ills and anxieties that are really for any decent human being intolerable. And yet we're told that work is a cause of some of these problems, and I find it bizarre because I do believe that work represents a solution to these problems. And it's one thing to misidentify a cause, it's another thing to misidentify a solution. But when you misidentify the cause for the solution, then you've really gotten things backwards. And that's where I think we are now. Biographically, I am really candid and transparent about this in the book. That one of the reasons I believe work can be very cathartic to a person is because it's what it was for me. And my father died as I was starting off my young adult life, and my mom was already gone. I had nothing and nobody, and work served as a very healthy diversion against the challenges of that era represented, as I had to take the time to kind of answer a lot of those questions in life and help to find some purpose. So, but your question is why that is, and I think the why is because it's how God created us. That if God created us to work, then it stands to reason that in finding that purpose, we find something that is soul satisfying.
We hope you enjoyed this sample of our discussion in the lobby. To watch the full episode, click the link in the description to support us on Patreon and become a patron saint. Subscribe on YouTube for more content, and follow and interact on social media to share with others. And remember, you are not a mindless consumer.